Hi everyone, welcome again, and we will get going. So today I am gonna be talking about my dojo experience, but I am really thankful to Access Agile that they gave me this opportunity to come and share my experience. Of course, it's a beautiful forum which is very much related to my ideology that nature has given us so much free, right? Nature doesn't demand us back all these things. So when we share knowledge, why it can't be free? Why it can't be, so natural? Why should not we be open to share what we have learned this? And I was able to echo it with this festival, so I joined them. I thought I'll share my first time experience publicly. So I have done a lot privately, one on one with many people, but this is the first time I'm actually coming and sharing how I am working with many Scrum Masters, Agile coaches, product owners in their journey. If I can enable them, it's like a mutual growth. That I'll be covering in the next 30 to 40 minutes. 20 minutes is quickly the slideshow, what I did and all that. And 10 minutes, if you have some specific slide that you really want me to dig deeper. But most of the time we will, do on is uh, the, uh, you know, uh, Q&A. Uh, I am finding some challenge in my Zoom that it is giving me that after 30 minutes, it's gonna get expired even if it's a paid version. So I would request you to click back on the same Zoom link and add the password Agile, and we will be, good to go. I think uh, that is a small glitch that I am facing today. Uh, with this talk, what I wanted to share with you is that we all grow together, right? When I thought about this opportunity, fun experience, I wanted to redefine my relationship with learning, time, space, and people. I really want to give a committed time. I wanted people to be little bit disciplined. If they are committing to some time frame with me, they should spend that time with me. We all have sometimes priorities, and we can work around that. But if they are coming and they are, very passionate about this thing, which I am passionate about, we can explore it together. So dojo for me was like more of a adjective. As I was telling you, it's like I just want to do what I am passionate about, I love about. So in Hindi we say do jo man kare wo. So you can call it like that. So many people say that dojo can be a very controversial thing because yes, it's come from a discipline, space, place where you commit, and there is a timelines and there are outcomes. Of course, there is a framework that I thought about when I was doing all these things, but I really wanted it to be a free flowing, a natural way. And I am very much inspired from nature on that. What my elements of dojo are, like, as I was telling you, they are very much inspired from nature. It's like there are five things which I picked up from nature. It's about our relationship, right? I did not wanted to jump quickly into the solutions or options. I really wanted to create that relationship first. And I am a bad teacher sometimes. So like I was, torturing them, testing them, but I was trying to build that relationship first. So once that relationship is turning out into be a true connection, right? When they feel connected, when we as a human beings, right, we are ready, then we start a purposeful discovery, and then the alignment and all those things start coming up. We design sometimes a visible roadmap, invisible roadmaps, plans, plannings, right? There were lot many things which were parallelly going. Once we were on a some journey, right? We started co-creating it. It was like either I am doing coaching with them one on one, or if we were sometimes forming a group like 6 7 people, we always co-created our journey so that we feel aligned, we feel happy about it. And it's not like somebody is putting something on our head and there is a social pressure and there is a professional pressure. It's like if I am loving it, I'll surely come and participate. And that actually helped me to create that growth mindset in the people that I was mentoring, and they showed me the real value in all these things. So this really helped me. And of course, I was always showing the what next we can do and what are the next thing they should always try for. But if you really want to be in this journey, be humble, right? Be selfless, because if you are always talking about, okay, what are the real things I'll get out of it? What are the real things I'll get out of it? You may, not able to see what natural things are flowing towards that. So these are the key elements of my dojo that I was using. Uh, of course, the second aspect, which is very, very important, was the journey. The journey, how I see it to it, it's a experience journey. It's the journey of their circumstances. It's the way everybody have seen their experiences. It's nothing about our experiences and how we can relate it to them. People say, I understand, I empathize. I feel you can't understand and empathize. You can just listen, and then that flow of relationship starts flowing. uh, we all in our professional journey have a high, low, and stable points, right? Uh, we are all going through these points. Only one thing which I feel is very, very important is that when we are here, right, what we start doing is that we start looking at the people who are here, and then we say, oh, they are far ahead. Actually, what I have learned is that we should look at the people who are here and then how they have achieved it, and slowly try to move in this journey, rather than always seeing that, okay, they are contributing a lot, they are doing so many things, and we start looking at those peak people, right? They are at their plateau. So I say that whenever you are working for your professional journey in agile coaching, always draw this curve, and every time you touch your plateau, right, that is where you are in now your comfort zone. So when you are in comfort zone and you are not ready to now bring in another transformation, that is the right time to go and share your learnings with the community. And that is where I could see 2 years back I was on a plateau. I did not wanted to disrupt too much things, and I started this experiment. So yes, there will be highs, there will be lows, there will be plateaus, and they might come, every week, every month, every quarter. Just be conscious about them, that they are happening. And if they are happening, how you deal with it, right? When you are actually high, create space for others and learn from them. It's a peer learning. If you are low, right, find your peers or the people or the family who actually inspires you, mentors you, and so that you can come out of your low zone. And when you are stable, when you are there, why not to mentor others? Of course, you will grow, and the time will come when your high will again start, right? You will be in comfort zone for some time, but when you are learning, right, you will move ahead. And today, when I was thinking about it, today I'm seeing that I am here, right? I am now trying to come out of my comfort zone. It's like first time I'm trying to do that. And what can happen? I can actually be at my lowest today and can go here again, right? It may be possible, and it's totally a new journey. And I am open for that. But at least I am conscious about it. And the third thing, which is I wanted to share with you, which is a true finding from this learning, is uh, we always go through these four stages. I call it. First is, I call it unknown unknown, right? Any role, any competency, anything like self observation, right? Sometimes oh, we don't know, right? And then when you talk to some people, right, they know about it. You actually now start knowing that, okay, there is a rule that exists. There is something which I need to know, but there are incompetencies, right? We don't know whether we have a skill. So this is a second zone, but you know what you can do about it. And then you create your roadmap or whatever we say, and then we start uh, having a competency towards it. Like suppose today I came to know about vocabulary sometimes back, right? Oh, I was amazed, but I don't know whether I have a competency, right? I can draw. I said I'll try, right? It's an incompetency, but I can try. Let me see if I can do something about it, right? And then I did that. And then it became my known competency. And we can be in that known competency zone and we can keep doing la 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 about it. But then the next stage comes, right? We have a competency, and then we are thrown into an unknown world again, right? There may be something else which is coming up, right? People may want to use the tools online to visualize something. There are new discoveries happening every day. There are new things coming up. Management 3.0 will become Management 4.2. SAFe 5.1 becomes SAFe 6.1. I may have some competency, but this will become unknown for me. And my journey will go back to my bubble where it is unknown, maybe again. I may not have competency. So if we are aware of all these things, right, and if we know that, yes, we can do it, uh, that will be great. So these are the other three lessons that I must say that I wanted to share it with you. This is the crux of this entire journey. I know our session will end in a minute. What I'll do is that I'll continue this session. Probably you will get dropped out today, and you need to join it back. And I will pitch from here that where we will leave. And I'm open to any questions if you want to put in. But it's like quickly you can click on the same link, and if there is anything, you can let me know. Are we all set to join back?